All right, so I didn't make any adjustments to the code since I last streamed. Let's make a plan for this one. For this session, it's going to be quick, just maybe a couple hours. So maybe let's make a to-do list. First of all, let's search for any to-dos. Okay. Probably like this. No. Okay. All right. So we don't have any to-dos in the comments. That's great. So let's see what we can improve. So since last stream, like the StreamDeck is working just fine. It's working as intended. I've added a mute unmute button and the scenes feature that shows you which scene is active. So that's the most basic kind of stuff. So let's maybe add something fancier. Well, first of all, like our buttons. Okay, let's start with the obvious. It's like the app is not configurable at all. Like 0. Everything is hard-coded. So I think some level of configurability might be helpful. So let's just add this, you know, like this, without going into any details, without any without dividing it into actionable tasks. All right, so configurability. For example, we have scenes. Like scenes aren't configurable. Button images aren't configurable. Muting and unmuting source isn't configurable. Like for now, I've just hard-coded the mic aux. So, but maybe you'd like to mute your stream elements or something. Okay, mute button. Mute. What else? Well, first of all, that's just, you know, in general. Like we want to move to a concept of a widget. A widget might span several buttons if it wants to. For example, you can have a sound meter, like a very, very primitive sound meter. With a volume switcher, like with the volume up-down controls. And maybe if you hold the down button, it'll mute. If you press the down button, it'll just make the volume gain lower. And if press the up button, it'll increase the gain of an input. So that's an idea of a widget. Okay, let's just start with this. Widgets. Volume control. Takes 2 buttons. 1 by 2. so it's vertical. Let's start with this now. Maybe we'll make a horizontal one, but who knows. Okay, so that's an idea for the volume control. 2 buttons. Okay. Long press mute. Short press up down, depending on the button. Okay, I think what it can do, like it might double as a simple level meter. I'm not sure you can even do that. Let's actually check the API, the OBS API. Maybe we can do that. Okay, so let's make the code a little bit bigger. Okay, like this. All right, let's check if the API even allows that. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to split up this file into smaller chunks, like it's 400 lines already. It doesn't have to be that big. And yeah, everything's in this single file. Anyway, so let's see, where do we talk to OBS? For example, here. Inputs, and can we even access? No, that's just a current volume. So we don't have any information about the peak, right? Yeah, well, that's okay. Maybe we'll be able to do it some other way, but okay. So far, it's fine then, without it. I'll just display level. So I mean I'll just display gain instead of an actual sound level. All right. So that's settings, specials. What's that? Current volume. Okay, current volume setting. Okay. Specials. What are those? Oh, okay. All right. So I might have just used this mic 1 instead of hard coding mic aux. I might have just used this thing because it might be called differently, but since we're gonna make it configurable anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. All right, so set mic live. Also this set live, not sure it's good. Like we're inverting all the time the muted flag. I kind of don't like negative flags such as muted, but in this case, like a good name for it being live is a little bit awkward to use. Like set mic live or make mic live. It just sounds weird. Like set mic active, like everything sounds weird. Like everything's better if we just use the word muted. Okay, so muted, then self it's muted. Okay, and self is muted. Okay, and then we just, when we decide which image to display, just invert these, and I think that's going to be enough. Okay, so that's just a minor cleanup. Okay, so what we should do first of all, well, there was an update to this StreamDeck. I'll go to StreamDeck library. They've reworked their async driver, but I didn't take a look at it yet. And since we have the sync driver working perfectly, wrapped in a thread and just working with Tokyo, no problem, I think I'm not going to be touching that. Let's extract what we have. Yeah, let's start separating the code into modules. First of all, the StreamDeck module. That's going to be easy. It's going to have the StreamDeck loop and what else? Do I have some messages? Yeah, I think I have. Okay, let's start just moving code. Okay, so it sends events and receives images, and that's it. That's the only API it has. To be honest, it's going to be sufficient for a lot of things. So I'm not even sure if we should be touching it. I think I'll just leave it as is. Okay. Right. So input state, I think, does this belong there? Or is it my wrapper already? I think it's my wrapper. Anyway, let's keep moving stuff into the modules. Like those are particular widgets, and I have 2 of those. That's actually like a module for those module widgets. And this one's gonna be a directory module. Okay, to do use proc macro for dynamic dispatch. Yeah, we have to do this kind of match on self, kind of dynamic dispatch, because any async traits aren't object safe. So we have to use some kind of a workaround. Scene switcher. And okay, so now we have some visibility problems because everything was in the same module before, and now we're starting to separate, to split things up. So of course, not every member of every struct or every trait is going to be accessible like this. So we'll need to lift visibility restrictions. Okay, image math rect or image proc rect. Okay, it might be just the same thing. Let's just fix all those errors. Okay, so I think, yeah, it was different rectangle struct. So it's, yeah, probably this one. Okay, and this has white. That's brilliant. Okay, has white. Yeah, I know why it's special. Like, they don't need has red, has green, has blue, has turquoise and everything, but still, like, sounds a little bit weird for a trait name. But it's basically a 1. And has black is basically a 0. So that image proc crates can do all kinds of color manipulations. Alright, so let's then make a mic switcher. Simple mic switcher. Okay. Let's fix this stuff up. Okay, and now this image updates. Why can't it see it? Ah, okay. So any widget, scene switcher, and oh, it doesn't know anything about. Wait, what does this happen? Okay. All right. So again, visibility rules. Let's just make these two public, so that we can use them here. Okay. All right, OBS. Okay, OBS and OBS events will go into OBS module. Okay, let's make a single file module for now. I think I'll change it later. Okay, event is gonna be... okay. So there's gonna be widgets and integrations, and yeah, I'll call them integrations because they're basically sinks and sources, but like OBS can be both a sink and a source. We receive events about scenes, and we send events when we select scenes. Also receive events about the immuted state. Like here's transgate a little bit low. Yeah, all right. I hope this wasn't too obnoxious. Okay. Okay, so OBS event. Yeah, OBS event should go there too. This event. Okay, it's going to be an integration event, an OBS event. And this one has to be public. Wait, what? Okay, but that's exactly what I want. So what's the problem? Okay. Okay, let's check this later. Okay, so I think okay, StreamDeck, the StreamDeck loop. Okay, first let's fix all the errors. Okay, any widgets is not public. That's bad. Okay. And scene switcher isn't public either. Because these aren't public. Okay. So now we should be able to see them, right? Okay, we can. All right. Okay, let's just check that everything's okay. Yeah, the mic is good. Okay, so why doesn't it see? Oh, okay, because the trait wasn't public properly. Yeah, okay. Okay, now it sees these methods. Okay, let's then... Okay, this we don't need, I think. At least here. So, I think what's gonna work is these little things, like settings, how to connect stuff. We're gonna go into configuration. And based on the configuration, we're going to recreate, create all the components and start them. Okay. So this global state, it's not just it's going to be not just a state, it's going to be the whole thing, like the whole application, at least the internal part of it. So far, I'm not sure if I want to have a GUI for this. Probably. I don't know. Well, definitely not now. And I'm totally fine with it being just configurable via files. Gonna make a lot of things so much easier. Okay, so... this OBS is then... Okay, let's make it public for now. And let's fix all the visibility errors that we have. Okay, and like a couple of last things. Okay, change scene as private. This mute mic, and yeah, so far everything seems all right. Let's see what else can we extract. Like this main method should be really small. Like after we introduce the concept of configuration, then everything will just go there. The configuration is going to be read from a file, and then the runtime structure is going to be created from that and started. So a lot of this stuff will go away too. But for now, let's leave it here. Like, what do we need to do with this kind of loop, though? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think. Okay, OBS loop. All right, so this OBS loop and this function should definitely go into OBS. For now, I think let's right, global state. So it's gonna be all right. So yeah, so we'll still have this global state like as a single object. It's not a big problem. Yeah, I think I'll just roll with this idea that this global state is going to be always accessible, and everyone, like every widget, will be receiving a reference to it, or at least an arc to a mutex. Well, maybe if it doesn't need it, then it doesn't have to borrow, it doesn't have to lock the mutex. But yeah, I think there's always been this kind of global state for this kind of an app. Okay, so StreamDeck input loop. Like this definitely needs to be extracted into StreamDeck module. But okay, events TX. Why don't we have events TX here? Oh, all right. So it's because this thing. What does it do again? Okay, so I think we'll need that anyway. Like, what I'm thinking about now is that this struct, it holds current state of OBS as was last polled by this poll method, and it saves that. Theoretically, we don't have to poll for everything. We only have to pull the things that that we're using, that are being used by the currently displayed widgets. So for example, if we switch to another page in this app, we don't need to pull all the data every time, like all the time. We only need data for the current page, right? So we'll need some API to register interest in some things. And especially given that this OBS polling, okay, it's local, it's over WebSocket on a local host, like it's fast. But what if we have YouTube or Twitch integration here, and then we'll have to pull everything, and how often exactly? Okay, so I think we'll need some kind of way to indicate interest in some kind of data from the integrations. So if we have a mic input button on the current page being displayed, it'll indicate that it has interest in, like, in the inputs, in the current OBS inputs. And if it's not being displayed, then there's no need to pull for that. Okay. But that's for later. I think we'll have to change basically the way that all of this works a little bit. I think we don't need any of this data here. But wait, okay, so change scene. But all the widgets are already reactive, so they just react to the state. Okay, and who sends that event again? Okay, change scene. Oh, like in this particular case, we send it. Actually, we shouldn't be doing that, okay? We'll change scene. Okay, and we're only using that so that we don't send a message again. Why wouldn't we? Okay, mic live. I understand why. Because we don't want to introduce a read call just to invert it and send an inverted value. But again, why wouldn't we? Huh. Oh, and this, okay, I see a little problem with the mic switcher now. Is it reactive? Well, it kind of is and it isn't. Okay, first of all, mic, let's, that's gonna be muted. And this is gonna be muted. Muted. All right. Okay. So Yeah, so the widget has to know what state it's currently in to change the state. Because the API, actually the API, like we can toggle the muted flag. Toggle mute, will it? I think it's actually perfect, right? It returns a boolean. That says if it's currently muted or not. And I assume that it finishes after it actually changed the state. Yeah, let's do that. Toggle mute. So at least in these two cases, we can safely ignore carrying the state. Okay. Toggle mute, wait and wrap, and self. Muted equals, right? Equals. Actually, I think that's a nice call. Like if we get an error from this method, then we'll just display a neutral value, like we don't know if it's muted or not. So far, I think that's actually not a bad UI. Like it is weird, like we're losing, well, we don't have to lose the error message, we can still log it, but at least the user will know that, okay, we weren't successful toggling the mute state of the input. Okay, so I think that's good. So toggle mute would be this, and we, okay, self-muted. Should we pull it still? Yeah, let's pull it, okay? Wait, or not. Well, we don't need it here at all. Yeah. But who sends the muted event? Who sends this event? Oh, nice. We're only receiving this event. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, I think that makes sense. Then we don't have to pull it. Okay. And what's exactly wrong here? Oh, okay. So here we don't know what to do with the option. Okay, But that's a good thing, because now we don't know if we're muted or not. Yeah, the only bad... No, I think... Wait, this we don't need, but... Okay, we need to stop hard coding all of this all the time, okay? And it's totally fine to... Yeah, we're still gonna pull this, but... Okay, mic, and it's gonna be an option of pull. Okay. All right. So now, self-set muted. Yeah, currently we can't even, like, we don't even have a way to handle this unknown state. Okay, so muted. Unknown and unknown pressed. Okay, and by default it's going to be unknown. Okay, and same here. All right. Oh, okay. So this, and another case for the unknown states. And unknown pressed in this case. Okay. All right. So self is muted. Well, actually, yeah. Yeah, we just send the toggle mute, and that's it. And hope for the best, basically. Yeah, and that's right. Okay. So muted and live. And all right, let unknown will be hollow circle. Okay. It's unknown and live. Okay. Well, let's actually try this one. Okay, so I didn't even see the unknown state. Let's... Yeah, for a very brief moment, it was an unknown state. Let's now see what happens when I press. Yeah, all the scenes still work, so everything's working. That's great. Okay. What can fail exactly? The send might fail? Is it a bounded? Well, actually, is it bounded? Yeah, it is. But yeah, okay. For now, just unwrap. Not a problem. Gonna fix that later. It's so easy to search for all the unwraps in Rust and fix them when you're ready to, you know, say release or like reach some milestone and want to clean up all the rough edges. Okay, so this, like conceptually, the mute stuff is working as expected. Current scene isn't. Yeah, we need to get rid of the current scene. And I don't think there's any... Yeah, I think that's it. Like, as easy as that. And okay, and now this thing doesn't keep any state. Like, it will eventually keep some kind of additional state, I think. But for now, I think that's enough. Okay. And let's see if it works. There's a slight delay, like very slight delay between the press of a button and an actual switch to the scene, but that's 100% a good thing. Let me check if the scene transition delay affects that. No, it doesn't. So as soon as the transition starts, it switches to a new scene. Okay. Alright, so this part works. What do we have left? Okay, so these things should go into their own modules. But the problem is, well, it's not a problem. Like, yeah, I think it's just, yeah, it's totally fine. It's even easier, by the way, so we don't have to introduce a scope to clone stuff. Yeah, that's right. So we're going to be spawning this thing and passing it the events. Same for this thing with the global state. Okay, so StreamDeck input lib, let's just... This is going to be private, and the only thing that's going to be public is going to be a method run. And here's the method. Okay, input state and this input state thingy goes entirely, yeah. So, okay, wait, with state change or without state change? I think without. Okay, so it goes here. Okay, so we need some raw inputs Rx, and we're gonna pass it. Okay, it's gonna be an unbounded channel. Okay, raw inputs Rx and events Tx. Okay, got it. Oops. Sure. Oh, okay, back bold. Okay, and events Tx. And that's gonna be a sender. Bounded sender. Well, anyway, okay, let's make it a bounded sender then. Just event. Okay. All right. So state change. So it's just okay, button input state needs to become public. Okay. Okay, so raw inputs Rx is to be mutable, and that's it. So now where do we have it here? Raw inputs Rx and events Tx. actually it might be even easier to do all of that, because like the raw inputs tx, there's another loop. Oh wait, yeah, sure, yeah, of course. Like it's yeah, that's right. It's just because we have this little loop abstracted out into like an async task. It didn't have to be that way. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be this way. So we'll just inline the whole thing, and what we actually need, we'll get raw inputs tx. We only need raw inputs as means of communication between this loop, which is going to go here anyway, and this thing. So we don't need it at all. And images and StreamDeck. Okay, StreamDeck. Yeah, it's gonna come from the config. Okay, but for now it's gonna come from this. Not a problem at all, but we don't need that. And the StreamDeck loop is actually this one. So instead of doing that, we can just do that. Okay, and send that to events.tx. Okay. And I think, yeah, let's just make this one the run function. Okay, so removed one channel. That's also good. Get StreamDeck run. No need for that. This. And events.tx. Okay, great. And we don't need that. And input loop is going to be the same, like StreamDeck loop is going to be handling everything, both inputs and output. And we don't need this channel. Okay, and okay, what's up with this? Oh, okay. Rest is private. Well, it's just an event. And not a big deal to expose the field, like all the fields. Okay, let's try it now. Okay. everything works, so that's a good sign as usual. Do we even need this hold state? I don't know. It keeps bothering me that it's... yeah, I think we'll just add it when we need it. This one we might need soon, so we'll leave it alone. Okay. So just a little bit of code rearrangement and okay. Do we have any debugs? Okay, we do. Okay. I need to do this. Well, let's actually do that. Enum dispatch or something. Yeah, I think it's this one. Enum dispatch. Okay. Yeah, I think I've used this crate before and it was just fine. So let's use that before we start adding many new widgets. Okay, enum dispatch. So the enum. Okay, great. Let's see. So this is gonna be enum dispatch and okay. What's wrong? Oh. Yeah, I see. So like this, right? Oh, sure. Because I still have my own implementation. Okay. So just like this. Are there any shortcuts for creating this these enums. Well, not really. Well, it's it's okay. Let's see. Oh, it definitely has an into, right? Yeah, it does. So that at least that. And we've already specified that this vector contains any widgets. Okay, so that's much better. All right. Okay. Okay, what shall we do next? It's good actually that we've done it here before we start adding new widgets. Let's make this whole thing configurable. How should we approach that? Okay, let's first of all add. Okay, so those are not buttons, let's call them widgets. And for all the widgets, image update. Yeah, so display an initial image. Then process a global state. Yeah, so we're receiving events, like all the events from all the integrations. And we're passing those events to all the widgets. Again, and updating the image like on the StreamDeck itself. Okay. Okay, so like this is gonna be part of configuration, of course. Oh, let's make, yeah. So the thing with widgets. Well, the widgets themselves are configurable with all the images, right? So here we have images for the scenes, and okay, here we have 3 images for the mic switcher widget. Okay, so shall we leave it for later? I don't know. No, let's start. Okay, let's start configuring the stuff. Okay. So there's gonna be like a duality between the configuration and the runtime state. I'm not sure how much I think there's gonna be just a one-way conversion, at least for the time being. So you just read the configuration, and then from this configuration you obtain like an object graph with all the widgets and everything. So I think it should be fine for now. Okay, let's just start writing this. Well, what do we need? We definitely need StreamDeck. And StreamDeck. Oh, by the way, what's the status of this thing? StreamDeck. Yeah, okay, it's okay. I think, yeah, let's use this for now. Okay, so, or maybe Toml, maybe use Toml. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like, I'm not sure I like Toml, to be honest. I think it's a little bit not composable enough. Like, you can't have deep data structures with it. Well, you kinda can, but I definitely don't like how they look. So yeah, I think YAML is gonna be fine. And let's make an example config. Right, so there's gonna be this one, integrations, OBS, key, StreamDeck, well, probably several stream decks. Okay, yeah, let's leave it out for now. Integrations and widgets. So our widgets are gonna be like this, right? You get sometimes scene switcher, scene playback, and image, say BRB PNG, right? Okay. Oh. Sure, and index. Position. Yeah, and if we are to have support for several stream decks, yeah, we'll need to address a stream deck here. Like the position is gonna be something a little bit more complicated than just an integer. And this one's 5 and this one's 10. Desktop. Okay. Scene switcher and mic switcher. Yeah, position 14. And input is gonna be mic/aux. Actually, let's fill it out. So host, port, and password. Okay. Let's call it just address. And what's the port again? Okay, 4455. Alright, and the StreamDeck. What's that gonna be? Wow. Kind and serial and kind is gonna be okay. Hell, we'll just filter it by serial, okay? StreamDeck. Oh, I think it logs it when it connects. No? Okay, it doesn't. Okay. And StreamDeck. Okay. I think StreamDeck should have a name. Okay, let's call this one Mini. And specify its serial number. And then position would be, yeah, I think something like that. Right? No? Or maybe like this. Yeah, I think this is good. Is this correct YAML? Or is this one? I don't remember, but who cares? Okay, so where's the config? Okay. And widgets. Okay. Okay, so the widget is gonna be an enum, right? Oh, that's interesting. So how does this enum dispatch? It said something about 30. Treat objects. That's actually cool. But okay, so widgets. Okay, let's scene switcher and it's gonna have the scene switcher widget. Okay. I'll do that. All right. So, and integrations will have OBS and StreamDeck. Not this one. I think, yeah, let's use this one. Okay, address and the password is a string and StreamDeck. It's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be StreamDecks. Okay, StreamDecks. Well, maybe we can control multiple OBSs, but that would be weird to be honest, but maybe it's a use case. Okay. StreamDecks and okay, what's it again? No, definitely not like this. It's gonna be a hatch map. They have to be unique. Okay, so StreamDecks. Indexed by string. Okay. And each StreamDeck, so it has a serial as a string. Great. Right, so everything derives deserialize. Good. Oh, and scene switcher and mic switcher. Okay, they're all gonna have a position. Okay, mic switcher inputs and image. Okay, we'll be providing a default image, but just in case they don't have one, well, they can override it. Okay. Okay. So I think, yeah, I think I'll wrap it up today here, and yeah, we'll continue making this whole thing configurable with next stream. Yes, but for now it works. I'm now switching the scenes and I can mute and unmute myself. So yeah, it seems to be working just fine. All right, so that's it. See ya.